Hello and welcome everyone. This is Doris. I know it's been a while, but I am back and I have 5 weeks of the Margarete Miller Weekly Collage Challenge to share with you between having my craft room redone, going out of town to Virginia to see our beautiful grandson turn 1, and then my husband and I coming back home and getting sick. It's been a while. So I promise I won't take much of your time, but I do have 5 weeks of collage to share. So let's get started. I am going back to week 40 of the Margarete Miller Collage Challenge. And the items for week 40 were something that starts with H, a travel item, a ribbon, dancing, something messy, and the bonus item, something with stripes. And just by glancing at this, I can tell I wasn't quite with it, and I think I've left out a thing or two, but that's all right. So something that starts with the letter H. I'm using this vintage image, and the lady had a hat, but I decided to try and not cheat on that part anyway, and I added this hat that I had from a Work Basket magazine. Next is a travel item. The lady is standing on a piece of luggage. And then I've added some washi tape that kind of goes along with the travel theme. Then a ribbon. I gave her a bouquet of flowers and I added a ribbon onto that. Dancing, well, I'm just going to assume that she's kind of taken a stance where she could be dancing in those dancing shoes. Something messy, that I can see I definitely left out, unless you consider I have coffee dyed paper over here. Then the bonus item, something with stripes. Well, we see her beautiful dress here is stripes, and the scrapbook paper I added for the background is stripes as well. So that is week 40. Let's move on to week 41. Okay, week 41, we have a portion of a photo, something found underwater, a border or frame, something that grows, something you drink from, and the bonus item is dictionary page. So a portion of a photo, I am using this image here that came from a travel brochure that we received in the mail. Then something found underwater. You can see my 3 beautiful fish here that came from one of the fish field guides. A border or frame. I'm going to use, within the magazine image here, is you can see this beautiful gold gilded framed mirror. So that is my border or frame. Then we have something that grows. Well, I'm cheating. I'm going to include another image from this magazine picture of this cute little dog right here. Then we have something you can drink from. I added this little teacup here from a different magazine. And the bonus item is a dictionary page. That is my background. And then I added it over here. Added on my little prompt card. And one other thing I just want to point out on this particular collage is for my writing side, I wanted to cover up, as always, the words from this cookbook. And I have a lot of these end papers from Reader's Digest and various sources, so I decided to start using them. And I had a word down here I didn't care for in the dictionary, so I just took a scrap from where I trimmed off the end paper and put it right here, and then just added a couple cute little butterflies for interest. All right, so that is week 41. Let's move on. Here we have week 42. Something with a bit of pink, money, something you see in the sky, something from the post office, something found in a library, and the bonus item is lines. Something with a bit of pink. I'm using this vintage map here from Australia and New Zealand, and you can see little bits of pink from those here and here. Money. I'm using this here. I think it came from some type of a game, maybe. Next is something you see in the sky. I'm using this helicopter image here, and that came from a Reader's Digest. All right, so that was something you see in the sky. Next is something from the post office. I had a book that talked about vintage stamps, so I just cut this out of the book. And then I have another rubber stamp I just added on here in a couple spots. Something found in a library. I have an actual library card and the library pocket that goes with it. It's from Encyclopedia Americana, dated 1963. Then the bonus item is lines. I have some line paper. This is a scrapbook paper I'm using here. And also I want to add that one of Margarete Miller's weekly collages, I believe, it might have even been this week's prompt sheet. I ripped off part of it, and that's what I'm using for this part here. Okay, so that finishes 42. Moving on to week 43. We have something with wheels, splashes or splotches, a piece of jewelry, any vegetable, ledger paper, and the bonus item is a stamping in non-black ink. Okay, something with wheels. I have this really cool car we have here. Then splashes or splotches. I had done some mixed media, so I just took a piece of that paper with all these splotches and created that. Obviously, you can see it's my background here. Then a piece of jewelry. I have this lady here. She came from a 1940s smart knitting magazine. There's some really cool images in there. I was very surprised. And you can see she has a ring and a bracelet and these little pearl earrings there. Next is any vegetable. I really didn't want to add this in there, but I did tuck it in anyway. This is an image of cabbage, and it came from an even older gardening publication. It was like a catalog. Then we have ledger paper. I tucked that back here and over here. And the bonus item, stamping in non-black ink. Initially, it's kind of funny. Initially, I tried to stamp this right on the paper. I should have known it was not going to come out clean all the way across. So I went ahead and this Enjoy the Journey, I stamped onto some other paper. And this is a Tim Holtz stamp set. All right, so that finishes week 43. And one thing I did want to add on this particular side over here where I collage, or I'm sorry, where I tend to journal, I wanted a space, obviously, to write, but I also wanted a spot to put my prompt card where I didn't have it flopping all over. So I just cut a little slit right in here. Didn't take up any room at all. And that way it's tucked in there and I won't lose it. But yet I have all that space to write. And then I added this beautiful little piece of ribbon up there with a staple, and that takes care of week 43. All right, moving on to my last week of catch-up, week 44. Out of the hen, I pulled the last list of prompts, something found at a grocery store, plaid, paper that has a stain or is stained, a light source, children's book page or illustration, and the bonus item, a written measurement. All right, so something found at a grocery store. I have a couple different things. I have this I printed. I have this vintage receipt like from a grocery store, and I just made a copy and cut it down, and the other part is over here. And then I have this price tag, and this was hooked to it. And this particular piece came from Jessica Rapp at Two Silver Oranges. That's her YouTube and her Etsy store, I'm sorry. And I had bought a while ago a wonderful junk journal ephemera pack from her. And this was just one of the many cool things that she had included. All right, then we have plaid. I took a piece of plaid fabric and just put it in a couple different spots on the collage. Paper that has a stain or is stained. I used my coffee dyed paper as my background here. A light source, have to use your little imagination, but when you see a rooster, that typically means when you hear him, it's crack of dawn. So the sun is coming up behind my rooster here. All right, that's my light source. Then children's book page or illustration. Well, I have several. I have the rooster and the hen and the children here. Then the bonus item, a written measurement. Looked in my stash and found another handwritten recipe card, and I chose to include that in my collage. I hope to be caught up now through the end of the year. We only have, 8 weeks left. It's so crazy to imagine that that's all that's left of 2023, but it is. Thank you so much, all of you, for checking out this video, and I hope to see you next time and a little bit sooner. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.